my stuff. And yeah, okay, yeah, that's great, great settings. Okay, so we will continue with some of the custom functions. Okay, that we were doing last time. It's good to review regularly. Okay, and even to repeat a little bit so that that helps us learn something new. So tell me, a function is what? A magic stone, a lime, or what is it about? That's right. Yeah, you got it. It's a reusable block of code. Right, because we can use it again and again. An example could be a function called hello, greet to someone, right? So this is the function definition. We define the function followed by the function name, and then we have some specific operations, right? And we have the here we are just calling the function, okay, the calling the greet functions. So that's good. And just give me a moment here. Just let me quickly check something, make sure I'm on the right team. Okay. Yeah, I think everything is great. Awesome. Now let's continue. Okay, so once a function has been defined, you can call it as many times as you need. Now choose the code to call the defined function. So this one would be great. Okay, good. Good work. Yeah. And now this one, tell me what should we do here? Use def followed by a name to define. That's right. Yeah, define def alarm. So we have a function called alarm that does wake up, snooze. Great. Now this one, the body for the greet function consists of how many lines of code? The body. Yeah. So yeah, with the indent part. Okay, so that's the body. Now the top is just the header. Okay, so that's 2 lines of code. And this one, another easy one, would that's right. So we need the parentheses, and also the colon. So that's how it works for the Python. Okay. Okay, this one we'll just skip that. A function performs a task. The greet function performs the task of yeah, display a nice message. That's good. Okay, so we can define functions that take any. So this one, the greet function, yeah. So here is just a empty brackets, parentheses. So it's no arguments at all. Good job. This one we will skip. And so this one would be personal greet James. Okay, yeah, James will smile. Okay. Okay, this one we'll also skip. And now for this one, it would be so def double number, we need colon and then print. So the arguments, the input is number. So we'll do number times 2. So that's the print. Okay. Okay, that's perfect. So and functions must be defined before they can be called. So this one, fix this code so it doesn't result in errors. So this one, do you know what kind of fix do we need to do? It's doing a function call before it's even defined. So it's a little bit tricky here. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, here it's a little bit tricky in the Python. Okay, so double 6. Not really. So here it's doing a function call, but it's not defined at all. Because when we run the code, right, it run from the top to the bottom. So it says line 1 and then line 2 directly comes to double. Like does it make any sense or not? Line 2, 6. Okay, so let's give an example here. Okay, so if I come to the Colab and if I just let me just add another cell. Okay, so I'll do, give me one moment here, add a code. Imagine I just scored something called the 6, right? If you don't know, you can try run it. And then let's see if it's running to an error or not. So under the Colab, okay? And apparently there are some errors, right? Now, in terms of what the error is, right? You can see that this one is running a little bit slow. It's just some of the browser behavior. Okay, so give me a moment here. Okay, so it says name double is not defined. Now, William, are you able to help it get defined? You need to unmute yourself. Double equals to 2. So that is a variable, okay? So a function, how do we define a function? Do you remember? Here is a function call. That's right, yeah, we need def, okay? So basically, if we see here, right? So the order, the sequence, they have an issue because we need to define it first, then we call the function. Okay, so that's the trick. So here we got to say we can say def double, okay, and then we can say maybe x, maybe number, okay, and then add a colon. So x is the argument. Now we can say, for example, we can say print. How about that? Print x times 2. And then when I call 6, what would you expect, William? Double 6. Okay, double is the function here. So when we pass 6 to the function, what do we expect? Yeah, so it will print 12 because we are passing a 6, right? And then this is 6 times 2, so it will return 12. Okay, but so that's the way to do that. So the def, we cannot put the end. If we put after, you see there's a warning saying that the double does not defined. Okay, so that's about that. Great. Continue here. So how many arguments does this function have? BMI, weight, height. That's called the body mass index. Okay. So can you tell me how many arguments does the function have? Again, do you understand what is the arguments? Okay. So what is the argument? Print no. Arguments is the not really. It's anything inside the brackets when you pass to the function. Okay, so inside the parentheses or inside the bracket of the function name. Okay, so how many arguments does this function have? Only inside the top. only inside the name of the function, okay, inside the parentheses. It's just the weight and height, okay? So that's what's called the arguments. It's like the inputs. Sometimes we say input arguments, okay? So it's just the weight and the height. So it's two of them, okay? And what are the arguments that the function requires to complete the task? That's right. Yeah, because that's basically the arguments. Yeah, the weight and the height to complete the task. Right on. Okay. Okay, so when calling a function, we need to use the same number of arguments that have been defined in the same order. So like this one, right? So here, if we want to complete the code to call the function and calculate the BMI for a user who is 1.75 meter tall and weighs 79 kilograms. So how do we call the function here? You are muted. Okay. Yeah. So just give me a moment here. Okay. Let me check something. All right. So BMI and then what? So 1.75 meters tall and weighs 79 kilograms. 79 kilograms. Okay. And yeah, and then the height. Yeah, 1.75. Okay, that's good. Okay. And this one we'll just skip here. Now complete the code to send the return value back for further operations. So if we see here, okay, def, 1 second. So def, yeah, and then index equals to weight over, okay, you return index, okay, and then P6 equals to BMI. Yeah, that's calling the function, okay, that makes sense. Okay, now what's the BMI function returning to the caller code? What does the function return? BMI. Yeah, because BMI stands for the body mass index. So it's an index calculated from the height and the weight. Okay, that is great. Okay, and continue complete the code. So define and then okay, return and then BMI. Okay, yeah, kind of easy for this one. Great. And if I continue, so a function. Oh, okay, go ahead. Okay. And yeah, that makes sense. It means do a task. Yeah, that makes sense, right? The function say greets, right? It greets, yeah. So it does a task that we want the function to do. Okay, perfect work. Okay, so that's the takeaways that we've learned. 1 second. Are you saying you want to go to the quiz 6 or it's kind of yeah, pretty much over there. Um, oh, there's a little bit more, and then after that it will be quiz 6. Yeah, yeah, no rush. Okay, let's take a little bit of something else. So this HackerRank. Okay, it's a very nice very yeah. I mean, AI is a hot area always, and there are lots of nice topics. Okay, so you remember this site. Yeah, we'll go to JavaScript in a couple of days or weeks. And now let me just show you. Okay, on the dashboard, there are many um, fun stuff and many different languages. Okay, and here you can see there is different level of skills. There's the basic level. Definitely, I think they are. Yeah, of course there should be say with the loops and depends on the level of difficulty. Okay, there can be the easy, medium, or hard. All right. Now let's do something. Okay. Let's just as an example. Okay, this one is a very nice one to enter. Okay, that you find how it looks like. So here is a sample line of code that can be executed in Python. Okay, notice that it has a little bit of interesting style. Okay, it says if two underscore name underscore, right, and equal to main. Okay, so this main is basically like the main entry points of a program. Like think about like a computer. You when you enter a house, right? You need to know what is the main door. Okay, so whenever you see this line, it's like that's where the code gets started. And then here is a sample line of code that can be executed called print hello world. And we can just as easily store a string as a variable and then print it to the std out. Okay, the standard output. It's just like to the screen, to the console. So here is an example saying like a variable. Okay, my string equals to hello world, print my string. So this code will print hello world on the screen. And so the input formats, here we don't need any input format. And the output format is we want to print hello world. Okay, so suppose we want to solve the challenge. What would you modify? Like this part, you do the code. Like how would you do that? That's right. Yeah, you can just directly print, or you can directly use the one here, right? If I'm getting it here, let's try something here. If I do it here, if I do the indent correctly, okay, and then if I try to run the code, and then it will start processing. Okay, so it passed the sample test cases. Okay, so good work. So that's like a basic one, which we hit that, right? So that works now. And we can even submit the code, fetching the results. Right. So basically this challenge, it's a success, right? And then, right, so it's kind of basically say that that challenge get passed. Okay. Now if we come to the Python here again, right? There should be some kind of status, right? Oh yeah. So basically you would get some points, okay? Like here, right? It's like 5 points, something like that, right? We said like each point is 1 cent that I need to give you, right? And okay, so that's that one, right? And if we try with another one, okay, I think the one that we were saying is this one, yeah, if else, right? This is also an interesting one. So say the task is given an integer n, perform the following conditional actions. If n is odd, print weird. If n is even and in the inclusive range of 2 to 5, print not weird. If n is even and in the inclusive range of 6 to 20, print weird. If n is even and greater than 20, print not weird. Kind of, it's basically just a bunch of logics. Okay, and then notice that some of the here it's some of the libraries here. Okay, import math, because if we want Python to do some math, okay, we need to import the libraries, and then this OS is for the operating systems, and the random is used to generate some random numbers. Okay, now if we take a look here, right, the logic typically starts from line 13 here, right, where it's under the main entrance point, and then it says n equals to integer inputs dot strip. Okay, this strip, what the strip does is it just strip the white spaces. Okay, because sometimes you have some white spaces. For example, give an example of the white space. If I use collab here, let's say a equals to here. Let's say just ABC, okay? And here I change it to word. Okay, and William, can you tell me what would word.strip do? Notice that I have some space here. Okay, I can add some more space. Yeah, that's right. So it will get rid of the white space and it will print just ABC. Okay, versus if I don't strip it, right? If I just directly do the word, and then, oops, if I comment that part out, and if I just do this, notice that here, okay, we have a lot of space here. It will be left there as well. Okay. So if I come here, oops. Okay, and so this one, you wanna give a little bit of try. Let's say n is any number. Okay, it's between 1 and 100. Do you know how to do something like this? Okay, yeah, that's totally fine. And all right, cool. So here there's some logic here. Okay, so if n is odd, print weird. Please get focused, okay? And don't no rush though. If n is odd, then print weird. So what we can do is we just need to we want to do something, right? If we know how to write the if function, right? And then we want to do something like if n is odd, right? And then we can figure that out later. And then we know, do we know what we want to print here? Let's say I add some comment here, okay? If for n is odd, right? So here, line 14, what would you put, William? Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we'll put weird. Okay, now let's come to this logic. Okay, do we know what does odd mean? ODD. Odd number. Do you know what does odd number mean? Yeah, 1, 3, 5, 7. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So the way that we do that is if I come to the the collab, okay? So what odd means, we know that 1, 3, 5, 7, etc., right? So they share some characteristics. Please get focused, William, okay? So the similarities that they have is, if they get divided by 2, do you know what will it remain? For these odd numbers, if they get divided by 2, what will it get remain? Do you understand what does remain mean? Remain. You understand that, right? Yeah. So remain is when you are not handling with the float. It's only integer. Okay. So 1 divided by 2, okay, it will equal to 0, remain 1. 3 divided by 2 equals to, if I put like this way, okay, so 1 divided by 2, right? If it's integer, right? So we say 0, 1, if you remember that your math, right? And similar, 3 divided by 2, that's like equals to 1, R1. R is like remain, okay? Do you kind of remember that kind of style? Yeah, so it's basically, whoops, I made some typos, okay? Remain 1, remain 1, yeah. So basically in Python, okay, so there's a way that saying about there's a mod behavior, okay? For example, if I say, how would I use that? I think mod, probably we need to import math first. If I say import math, no, mod is another another function. Okay, let's check. Mod is not defined. Let's check that. So if I come to, if I say, let's recall what does how to do the mod function in the Python. So we would say, okay, here there's one trick, okay, I can show you. Here we could start coding or generate with AI, right? So if I do a comment, okay, and if I do it here, so if n is odd, print weird, we can do something here, use Gemini as well. And then if I come here, okay, so if n is odd, print weird. Now if I enter, let's see. Okay, notice that here, right? We have some Gen AI tool, right? Let's try that here. So let's try transform the code, maybe. If I do continue. Okay, and I have a little bit of if I put it here. Right now it's not showing. I think it's just some screen settings. Okay, let me just do this again. Can I hit maybe not from here, but okay, let's try this. Okay, so we can always ask here. So Python mod function, okay, or you can just type, if n is mod, prints weird, right? And okay, you know what? So my bad memory. Okay, it's actually the percentage sign. Somehow I was thinking about the mod function in the math, but it's not defined. Okay, so yeah, so here we go. It's actually this one. So for example, if I do a 3 mod 2, okay, and it will guess how much it will show. If I do 3% 2, do you know what will it show? 3% 2. So if you check the screen here, okay, so it will be exactly 1 because it's like 3 divided to 2 equals to 1 remain 1. Did you get that? No, it's not like that. It's 3 divided by 2 will be equal to 1 remains 1. Okay. Now, if I do 5 percentage 2, can you tell me what will it be? Can you turn on the camera? Yeah, sorry, the microphone. So 5 percentage 2. Think about the logic here. Okay, that's like the mod function. It basically asks you how much it will remain when you divide by 2. So 5 percentage 2. Can you turn on the just leave the camera on, okay? And leave your face on, please, okay? We need to get focused. Yeah, that's right. So here it needs to be 1, okay? All right. Now if I come here, okay? And please don't swing your body or head, okay? So here now I think here you would know if n is odd, print weird. Do you have some idea here? How would you treat that? Describe n is odd. N is the number, right? If n, think about that. If it's n divided by 2 remains 1, right? So how would you do that? So we learned the percentage sign, right? That's for the mod. So if n percentage 2, okay, equals to 1. So this is same as, you know, if n is odd. So, or I say if n divided by 2 remains 1, okay? And then it will print weird. Okay, and then if n is even and in the inclusive range of 2 to 5 print not weird. Do you know how to handle that? Yeah, good idea. You could do else, you could do elif, right? Else if. So here it needs to be in the range of 2 to 5. So how would you describe that? How would you describe that? Okay. Do you know the inclusive range of 2 to 5? It's like between 2 and 5. Not percentage, right? So n is larger than 2, or n, yeah, sorry, not or. Here would be and, okay? And n is smaller or equal to, I think it would be, yeah, smaller than or equal to 5. And then we want to do what? That's right. Yeah, you got it. Okay, we're getting closer. Okay, it's almost got solved. So here, print. Here, print not weird. Okay, great. Another one resolved. And then the next logic. If n is even and in the inclusive range of 6 to 20, print weird. What would you do here? This line. If n is even and in the inclusive range of 6 to 20. Okay, so elif, okay, we can continue use the else if what? And what? Where does it say 8? So here is in the range of 6 to 20. Just equal or equal to 6? Okay, what would you do? Or 8? Okay. Yeah, so you were thinking about if it's 6 or 8 or 10 or 12, right? That kind of thing. Yeah. And notice that because I have the airs here, right? So it's already it means it already is even number because yeah, here it's n, yeah. Because here we are using airs, okay? So it means that it's already not a odd number, okay? So that's why we can directly comfortably say just something easier, right? Larger than or equal to 6 and smaller than 20. Then we want to do what? Which one do we? That's right, print where. Okay, great. Yeah, finally, last one. Okay, if n is even and greater than 20, print not weird. Yeah, we can do elif. That's right. Okay, great. Then that's right. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Okay. So let's try that. Okay. Let's try run the code and just to see if it runs. Okay. So it's processed. Okay. And it passed some sample test cases. And then we can try submit the button, try to submit code. Okay. And to see if it's passed all the test cases. There are seven test cases. Okay. All right. So that get resolved. Okay, so that's great. Yeah, so I think that's the so that's another 10 points you earn. Okay, and here we will see that you got this much points. Okay, so that's pretty good and nice try. So we'll keep up the good work and have a good before that. Yeah, do you have any questions? All right, cool. Yeah, have a great evening and see you next time.